Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Game Changers, the podcast by Leyline.
Yes.
Tonight
Hello.
we got a very special night. Every night, I think, with us is a very special night, but you know, it's Christmas Eve, and we're all together. We're hanging out. We've got a cool topic: new kids on the blockchain, the truths, the myths, and the future. With our special guest, Ali Razeghi. And yeah, we're here. We're here with Leyline. And so let's see. We got Boogy. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Boogie.
There he is. We got Crystal.
Hello, I'm Crystal. Nice to meet you.
And Ali.
Hello, everybody. Thank you all for having me. It's a real pleasure to be here.
All right. Thanks for being here. You know, this podcast is hosted by Leyline, and I get asked the question quite a bit. What is Leyline? What is it all about? It's a very common question. There's a lot of buzz. We're building buzz. I think in someday, you know, I don't know how long it's going to take, but one day people will be like, I don't need to ask what Leyline is, because I know it's this awesome thing that's changing the world. It made charity and altruism and doing good stuff a game that I get rewarded by. And those rewards are helping fight poverty, helping make people's lives better, offering incentives to actually go do things like run Boink and help use your computer for helping scientific research, donating blood, giving to recycling, donating to Goodwill. I mean, the list is going to grow and grow and grow. That's what we're all about here. So yeah, it's awesome. Leyline's doing great stuff, and we're building. We got good news. We got good updates coming up here tonight. Any updates from Boogie? What do we got to talk about?
Well, you can sign up right now for Leyline and get gift cards right now. I mean, as long as you're doing good stuff in the world. You sign up, it'll lead you through, and there's a redeem right there. You get some, I think there's some gift cards right now that you can go through Amazon or Apple.
Mm-hmm.
And Google Play. Yeah.
And Google Play, yeah. Mm-hmm. So you donate your computing power, you work out, you donate some blood, you do good things in the world, you'll be rewarded. It doesn't cost you anything. You can even do the cloud computing while you're asleep, and we're going to pay you to do good.
Yeah.
I mean, seems like a no-brainer to me.
Okay.
I feel like Cody's pitch gets better every week. He's like, nailed it.
Pitching it to a friend today, a really good friend, and she goes, I've seen some of your stuff. Can you just explain it to me? And I started out with like, yeah, we're adding gamification to charity and da 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 da. And then I finally said, yeah, we're making a game out of doing good stuff. And she's like, you should have led with that. And I'm like, didn't I? Apparently I didn't. Apparently the word gamification, for some of us, we know it. Some of us, we don't. You know, some of it's like gamification. And by the time you've processed what that term means, you miss the last like 25 words at least. So I am refining it. We're all refining it. We're going to get better at it for sure. But it's awesome. It's super cool. Please be a part of it. Go to leyline.gg, sign up. Start earning those points, earning those gift cards, and encourage your friends. Challenge your friends. We're going to get a leaderboard on there soon. So people who are kicking each other's butts can actually be like, yeah, I'm owning it.
You'll never beat me.
Like Fortnite or an amazing game. I'm owning it at charity. I'm owning it at changing the world. So, okay. It is, as I mentioned, Christmas Eve live right now. If you're watching this recording, well, it's not. It's be later on. But right now live. What is that? He's trying to calculate Eve. Yesterday was Eve. No, too many Eves. Sorry about that. But the holidays are in the air. Even if it's been a tough year, it's like, hey, we're all at home. Let's at least put on some very ugly, very weird sweaters that you would not wear any other time of the year. That's for sure. Boogie, can you show us what you got?
Yeah, I think I failed on the ugly, but this is like the Christmas sweater I got. It's the Lich King from World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
that's a really nice color.
It's not very ugly. Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Yeah, it's not an ugly sweater. How about you, Crystal? What do you got?
I have an actually ugly sweater that I love. Can you see it? It has like boots on it, or a swan. Yeah. Yeah, I bought it because I thought it looked nice, and I was with my mom, and she was like, "Why are you buying that?" And I also have this Christmas hat thing. Yeah.
Santa Claus riding a penguin.
Yes.
Penduck.
Penduck.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I actually have no idea.
My
and the
friend
one without all the holiday swag, Ali, what we got going on?
I was able to get the closest to a ugly sweater was an AOL 9.0 release jacket, collector's edition, I think. Wait, there's all the little swag.
Oh, man.
And then, of course, all the embroidery in the back.
I hear dial-up sounds in my ear right now. Anybody else?
I feel like that would qualify as vintage now.
I'd like to point out his Dragon Ball shirt.
Ooh, yeah.
The Nirvana cover, it looks like, I think.
Yes.
You got it.
Very good.
I don't know much, but I know
a
useless information.
And he's got the red light, which is cool.
But I know I love you.
Why, thank you, Cody. Speaking
all right,
of
nobody's
love,
asking about my sweater. One time I was invited to an ugly Christmas sweater party, and I had both no ugly Christmas sweater and no money. So I went to the thrift store, and I found a shirt that just, hey, it's a sweater. And my wife had some great little like shirt paints. So voila, I made.
Wait, that's actually really pretty.
It looks really
That's really nice.
Yeah. I did Christmas trees.
That's amazing.
I put on the stars. I made this little felt reindeer. And then I'm like, you know what? It's just not epic. My life is, I'm all about epic. Let's throw a big badass lightning bolt right through. There you go. I felt like that tied it all together, in my opinion.
Well, it looks great. Yeah, can you make one for us?
Yeah, Eugenia in chat wants one. She's asking if your wife takes commission.
Exactly. You should sell those on Etsy.
Dang it. I'm going to open up an Etsy channel just for an Etsy store for making these.
I would definitely buy one. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, just so you guys know, we're also brought to you guys by the Dance Music Initiative, one of the Leylights that work with Leyline. They have a nonprofit that helps teach youth how to DJ, and it is awesome. It's a collective of dance music enthusiasts who pool their resources and knowledges to support others in their musically creative endeavors. DMI inspires others through instruction, mentoring, and sharing. DMI will continue its success with every person that asserts the collective has enriched their life and has made a positive impact on their ability to express themselves with dance music. So check them out, Dance Music Initiative. Brian, I love you. I love what you do. It's important to lead the youth. They are the future. It's old fogies here. I mean,
do you have a link you could put in the chat?
Ooh. Personally, no.
Brian.
Somebody can help us out and get
Brian can put the link in the chat. Yeah.
Be like, distraction?
You're right.
Somebody else do it.
Spirit fingers. Spirit fingers it is.
But that's really amazing.
Our guest this week, this isn't his first time on the podcast.
Dude, if you were with us last week, Ollie came into the Discord channel, was like, hey, what's happening? And right during the podcast. And I mean, he just wanted to say hi and hang out and be part of the community. But we're right in the middle of a podcast. But it was hilarious. So it made sense that we bring him in. And there's some really big things happening with Leyline and his specialty. He's the lead in this here. I'm going to go ahead and intro you, Mr. Ali. Can you just give us a little bit of your background, sir?
Before that, can I just apologize for kicking you out of the chat? I did not know it was you. I thought it was a random person, so I kicked him out. I'm so sorry about that.
Somebody was able to, because I was frozen in horror.
No.
Wondering
Just
what is going on.
No, it was an epic moment for us.
I was trying to kick him out, but I muted him, and then when I went to talk to him like the day after, I was like, why is he just ignoring everything that I said? I forgot that I had muted him. And we were trying to have a conversation, and I was just talking over him the entire time because I had him muted.
Hey, Discord's hard to use.
This is our friend.
Yeah.
Ali, who's a wonderful engineer, by the way.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today.
It's an absolute pleasure being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. What can I do? What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Well, I got started in tech, fascinated in tech really, really young. I was living in Iran. It was during the war. Our neighbors had a Commodore 64. And I was just fascinated that like these guys can control what's on the TV by putting in a cassette tape. That was so weird. After we moved to the States, I got introduced to arcades, Atari, Nintendo, and so forth. Until 1989, when the XT was kind of cheap enough for a household to buy, and I wanted to run Donkey Kong and Qbert. And so my dad taught me CD backslash, what an exec file is. After that, I got pretty hooked, started a gaming BBS, and did a lot of entrepreneurial stuff here and there, but ultimately got into the big world of data, got into a lot of startups, and then started my own crypto startup, had a really good one that went far, had one that completely failed miserably, and I'm just excited about the future. And right now I'm working with Leyline as a lead tech, just as an advisory role in several areas, and hopefully in a lot of deeper engagement moving forward these next exciting couple of months.
Awesome. So what is it that you do at Leyline?
So at Leyline right now, I'm the product owner for the platform side, but in reality, I'm just helping out a lot with the technical side and advising the CEO and other people on different technical solutions and implementations. And I'm also helping lead some of the efforts around something called a NFT, which is something we can discuss. But those would be the main areas I'm working with you guys now, just trying to help us get to the next level technically. But you guys have an excellent foundation. I'm just an extra resource that's here, and it's really from my benefit.
So you mentioned NFT. What?
Yeah, I have
Right.
no
That's
idea
where
what
I'm
that
at.
is.
You guys are on it because NFTs are some of the hottest thing inside the cryptocurrency community and in other communities too, like gaming. And NFT really helps take Bitcoin to the next level, like Bitcoin took money to the next level, right? Money solved a big problem, currency. I don't have to bring my cows and chickens everywhere. I bring that. Awesome.
So I can
Thank
stop that
you.
now? I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, this man doesn't have a wallet. He brings a wagon full of livestock.
Well, money solved that problem, but it had issues, which is maybe why you don't trust it and you trust hard, tangible goods. Money is heavily susceptible to inflation. It can be easily, they can print a million $10 bills overnight, and they already do. Maybe 30% of all dollars, I believe, were printed very recently, last 2 months or so. So, money does introduce some issues where a cow doesn't. You can't duplicate a cow. I've tried. Don't ask.
There's no copy and paste button there, huh?
Nope. Now, but one of the issues is the dollars are fungible to a degree, and so is Bitcoin to a degree, where if I give you $10 and I don't care what $10 you give me back, it could be one from the big old head, the tiny head, the 80s $10 bills, 10 is 10 bucks. An NFT actually lets you track that very specific item through its entire life cycle. So this is very important, for example, in the world of, one example is Super Bowl rings and collectibles. If you ever watch Pawn Stars, which I'm sure you do because it was one of the hottest rated shows in cable, you might have seen the episode with the Super Bowl ring where like, this is Joe Montana's or something, and it was a cheerleader super ring, which unfortunately has a much lower value than the star quarterback of that year. Now, all these rings look alike. How are you going to tell them apart? Well, that's an issue that you have. That is called fungibility or fungibility, if you're going to pronounce it properly.
Which is the F in NFT, right? I mean, just in case anybody's like, your guys are saying NFTs. I'm hearing ESPN. I'm hearing RESPCT.
I should have started with what NFT means. I was trying to avoid saying it, but you're right. NFT means non-fungible token. Excellent segue. So a fungible token is one that you cannot track. A non-fungible token you can track. And this is going to solve a lot of issues, which is why it's so big at the moment. It's growing about a 40% a year industry, but steadily increasing. Currently, it's about $320 million or so as a whole. And it'll let you solve issues along with vote record, land management, who owns what piece of land, video game items, collectible items, tracking real world assets. And as a result, people who have experience in this sector and marketplace have a strong advantage. Some areas that we're really using them is if you go to Unstoppable Domains and you register a .crypto domain, for example, I own aliraz.crypto, that is a non-fungible token. If you have a particular item in a video game that you cannot duplicate, that is tracked on a NFT blockchain, which we can go through, that as well is the same exact. They all offer you that same level of control. From the deed to your house to guaranteeing your shiny sword that gives you plus 10 luck in your video game, NFT covers all of those uses, which
Are
makes
NFTs
coins better.
are NFTs always video game items? Is that where they exist, or do I put them on a flash drive? Forgive my ignorance, but I
No, I
I am
really
very new
appreciate
to
you
it. So
asking. That's an excellent question. So it does not have to be at all like that. For example, the example with the .crypto or the unstoppable domains. Sorry, it's unstoppabledomains.com is where you go to register your domain name. Those you don't hold anywhere. It's just out there like your .com. So your .com, you don't actually hold it with you. It's saved on a registrar, which is considered a centralized service or a hosted service. You have a custodian, somebody who manages it for you. And all of those options are available. Leyline is doing a lot of cool things in that. One of the issues we have in the cryptocurrency community and blockchain community is the barrier to entry. It's difficult for people to securely come in, secure their wallet, have their passphrases, save it the right way, do best practices. We are by default going to be a custodial service currently in our discussions. So you can just come in, sign up immediately as easily as possible. And if you would like, you could take it and do whatever you want with it. But those are all options that you have, which means that you don't have to worry about them. Nor do you have to worry about your land anymore. So same with NFTs, if you use it to say, I own this piece of land and this is the person who's owned it before me, you still do not have to be in charge of it. It is just tracking it, if that's a useful explanation.
So is it something that gives an item monetary value without actually using money?
Very good question. It could be because an NFT can be used in collectibles, in rareables, in rare to define how rareable an item might be. To give you an example, just very recently, in one of the video games that uses NFTs, they sold one card for $31,000. This person just played the game. They got a pack of cards, which you use to play the game. They give you characters. 4 cards each quarter or year are this quality. This guy opened it, bam. That person got 200 Ethereum at the time, and that was $31,000. Another card in another game called Space Commander, these guys made $45,000 just from that one sale. There's also Decentraland, which is a kind of you buy virtual land in a virtual game, and plots of land sold for $80,000 in that particular business case. So it can absolutely create value and drive more value, mainly on the collectible side as well.
And is that because of rarity?
Rarity is very important in these, and you can define rarity incredibly flexible ways with these NFTs. Certain ways might be, let's say we're having a stream and Ninja's having a stream and one of us accidentally jumps in the middle of that stream. And during that stream, Ninja got a certain sword that dropped. That is a very rare sword. There might be 10,000 copies of that sword, but this particular one is now tracked as the sword that dropped when the Leyline crew accidentally jumped in his stream. Now this sword on the secondary market, like the marketplaces we're discussing, can sell for exponentially higher, even more than $30,000, $50,000, $80,000 as we're seeing entering these. It creates rarity through uniqueness. Every $10 bill is unique.
Hmm.
And
So that's like an old sword from like an old samurai sword from an old battle held by a general or some daimyo or something like that. And this is the
wonderful
sword.
example.
There was a lot of swords that were made like that, but the story behind that sword and who held it and who touched it and who used it. Wow.
It
so I
reminds
want
me of how people thought Beanie Babies were gonna be worth a lot, and they collected a lot of it, and it ended up not doing anything. But
Yeah,
My
that's a
Beanie Babies
problem.
aren't worth anything.
What?
they're not worth what people thought they were gonna be.
No.
So what you're saying is I can't use my cows and chickens anymore and get rid of my Beanie Babies?
Yeah.
I
I don't
quit.
know what to tell you,
This poor
man. I'm
guy.
sorry,
So what
man.
happened with Beanie Babies, though? It's a perfect example because they got inflated on a
Mm.
hyped market, and they weren't NFTs. No Beanie Baby was unique. They were all generic, one bland design that they just pumped them out like crazy. That's the inflation issue that money brought in when you stopped using cows and chickens, which
Mhm.
Bitcoin solved. But NFTs, as you guys all noted, takes it even one level deeper and makes it even more potentially rare based on the quality and what it is and who had it and the history and the story, all of which will be tracked through its entire life cycle. So those are
What
some of the things that are really exciting about working here as well, or
Mhm.
with you guys, is how this market has grown. If you go to YouTube, just go to YouTube and type in NFT. That's all I'm asking you to do, nothing else. You'll figure out the rest yourself once you get to page 20.
Awesome. So what secures the NFTs? What like if I
NFTs
have a sword and you
typically-
have the same sword, but your sword turns out to be more valuable because of the story, what secures that? And be like, how does that
Very good
work?
question.
Hmm.
You remind me just of my good friend who I won't say any names, who paid for college by duping Stones of Jordan from Diablo 2 and selling them on eBay and other in-game auctions.
Wow.
He paid for college, and I am proud to say he went to business school afterwards.
Ollie's buddy, I
Yeah.
see you, man. Right
Yeah.
on.
He's a shark. Shark in the business world, I'm sure.
It's kind of
However, I
like
would- go ahead.
how people sell sneakers, right? Like they buy them and sell them for way more expensive.
Yeah, but this guy was just duplicating it. The issue is,
Oh.
right? So in this case, Boogie's example is, as you're bringing up as well, they can't duplicate speakers, but they with these things. With the NFT, it's saved on something called the blockchain. Typically, currently, this might all change tomorrow. And there's different blockchains. There's Waves. There's EOS. There's Ethereum, obviously the first one, and so forth, that can host all these things. And these are saved by a consensus of people, which we can go through, that basically everybody who wants to join in has to validate by a majority that says this is accurate. This has never been changed. This is exactly what it was. We all agree, we see the same thing. And once this majority and consensus writes it, it cannot be changed. If we want to go deeper into that, I would recommend looking into just basic smart contracts, or we can go deeper into that as well. Check out, I believe, ERC 1150 tokens, which are better than the, I think, 720. We'll have to look at it, which give you even more in-depth technical information on how this is saved. But it's saved in the exact same way your Bitcoin is saved. So if you trust your Bitcoin in your wallet, this uses the exact same technology.
Could you define and explain a blockchain? Sorry, just
I totally appreciate that.
simplify.
Really
I'm a
appreciate that.
kindergartner.
Thank you.
I don't know either. Yeah.
A blockchain is, just imagine a ledger based on time, last name. The Bitcoin blockchain is just that. So all it is back in the old days when you used to have big bank ledgers, they would come in and they would open up this huge book and they would say, okay, Mr. Razeghi's bank account, let's look you up. All right, this is how much you have. Here are your transactions for the day. You put in 20, you took out 5, you're at 15. I'm recording this, I'm logging this. We're closing the book for the day. This is all the transactions for December 23rd, 7 BC. Okay, whatever. No, maybe not. Did the Persians make money by then? I'm Persian, I should know. Let's just say like 2080. Yeah, why not? King Tiberius, fine. So all these pages start stacking up. And over time, you're able to go through each page knowing that it wasn't changed. And each page represents, let's say, one day. So I want to go back to December 10th. I go back to the December 10th day. Here's how much so-and-so did. Here's what they had. And here's the total amount. So those transactions done in that day are a block. And a chain is like the binding of the ledger. It just changed all of these together into one big digital ledger that you write to one time, you trust it, you validate it, and you're done, and you turn the page. And anytime you want, you can go back and read it. Is that an okay example, or do you guys have other questions?
Oh, that helps so much. I got a great visual. I got nice, that was great context. Now, from my understanding, blockchain's supposed to be like foolproof, really, really well protected. What makes it so? How? Because that almost sounds like something like, oh yeah, somebody can go in there and change it and be like, yeah, Cody owns this NFT. It's in the blockchain. So
very good question.
Yeah.
That brings us back into the original term, cryptocurrency. Crypto meaning cryptography, and what the crypto does in this case is, one, it protects your digital assets. In this case, the Bitcoin saved on the blockchain or whatever you're dealing with. It also ensures your privacy. So all of us who are validating transactions don't actually know who you are. And the crypto part helps with that. But to get a better understanding, let's look at how a bank protects. A bank is a centralized, trusted organization that hires people, gives them background checks.
Right.
No comment. No comment.
Yeah.
But they do have to go through background checks. At least they're compliant with HIPAA and other requirements. And when you put in your system, when you put in a transaction in their system, they have what's called a centralized database. So I put in $10. This $10, or well, I sent you $20 is a better example. This database that they manage, that only they have access to, unless a hacker breaks in, that they spend tons of money to protect from, well, first take $10 from my account, send it to your account. When it lands in your account, the database says, okay, cool, did it check, did it pass, finish, end the transaction, release the money, we're done. So this is great, but Bitcoin does it very differently because we're not a centralized organization. Anybody can come in and validate Bitcoin transaction. That whole, do you have $10? Okay, send it. Did he get it? Release it. Anybody can do that in Bitcoin because it's decentralized. Nobody owns it. There's no Wells Fargo. There's no CEO. Outside of who pushes the code out, there's really no control over it. So the way this works is I have my phone, you have your computer, we have our PlayStation. And what I do is I do something called mining when it comes to Bitcoin, which is validating transaction. If my toaster has a CPU, it could mine. And all I do is I get in, hey, the last block, which is 10 minutes or one page of the ledger, right? The last 10 minutes came in, and I need to see that Wallet Ali sent Wallet B $10 at this time in a way that they don't know the name. Do 51% of all of us agree this is exactly what we see all over the world? I don't care if you're Elon Musk on Mars mining Bitcoin, which we know he's doing.
That's why the prices are just shooting right up, right?
To the moon, no, to Mars.
Yeah.
Anyways, so when 51% of all the processing power says, yes, this is accurate, and none of them say, what the hell is this shit? It transfers it and you're done. And unless you lose your passwords to your wallet, which could happen, you are not going to lose your Bitcoin, or unless you send it to the wrong guy. Did that help explain how a decentralized process of regular people using cell phones, computers, PlayStations, toasters, if they're internet connected, would be able to validate transactions without the need of a massive central bank like Wells Fargo?
And there's a snippet. We've had the CEO, Jeremy. I see you in there checking us out. I see you. He said in chat, in order to hack blockchain, a bad guy would need to hack every person's machine on the network, millions upon millions of data points that would need to be hacked.
Exactly,
Wow.
Jeremy. Yep.
I'm still a little bit confused about mining for blockchain because I know people who like have a bunch of super powerful computers and just do that. Like they could just find blockchain, Bitcoin through
That's
mining
a great question. Yeah, yeah.
and they don't have
That
to
was my
pay
first
for
startup.
it.
My first startup was a mining specialist company where we maximize mining efficiency in northern Michigan by not cooling anything and opening windows and ducting things with giant ass industrial fans. But what we were really doing was validating transactions. Mining is. So
Oh.
exactly. So if you look at the last 10 minutes of Bitcoin transactions, you get that as one block. So that means if I send somebody Bitcoin and the network's operating normally, it might take 10 minutes to send. That's because every 10 minutes, all of the miners that are validating transactions, let's say Ali's wallet A sent this much to Ali's wallet B. Do you agree? Is that what you see? I see it at 19:06 p.m. and 2 milliseconds. Do you see it at 19:06 and 2 milliseconds? Yes, yes, yes. That's what mining is. They're asking everybody, do you see the exact same data I see it? And because the data is heavily encrypted, in order to protect your identity and your wallet and a lot of this information from the people validating it, they have to use some more processing power. Now, a lot of that is artificially driven up by something called difficulty rate, which we don't have to get into. That's just to keep the amount of Bitcoins that are generated a certain amount every 10 minutes. To wrap this up, go ahead, Boogie.
I was going to say, why don't they just call it validating instead of mining?
Because, exactly, well, a good question. A great question is what you were about to say. I always hear. So good job. Yes, you're right on the track. We call it mining because this is how you create new Bitcoin. Look, I'm putting up my battery. I could be playing Clash of Coins. I could be playing all kinds
Angry
of stuff
Birds.
that, yeah, my battery goes fast. This is 120 hertz. I got Hearthstone on here. So why should I give you my processing power? Well, by doing that, you get a possible chance at earning Bitcoin if you were the first one or some kind of algorithm like that to discover that block and say, aha, here's the answer. If you're the one who says, okay, here's the 10 pages, I've done everything, we're good, here you go, you are picked by the system to get those Bitcoin that are generated. I believe right now we generate 6 Bitcoin, maybe I'm a tiny bit off, every 10 minutes.
Wow.
However, every 4 years, or whatever, every halving event, which I'm pretty sure is 4 years, I'll have to look it up, that number cuts in half. Either way, you are awarded Bitcoin for doing it. It's also very difficult to get Bitcoin if you're a solo guy. You join something called a pool, which is like a giant team. Boogie, me, you, Elon Musk.
Let's do this, guys.
We form a pool. We put all of our processing power together. We now have 2% of the entire blockchain processing power, let's say. So 1 out of every 50 nodes, so every 50 minutes of 10 minutes times 50, whatever, every 500 minutes, we would be getting 6 Bitcoin for doing it, if you do it long enough, right? So you're getting awarded for giving your CPU to validate transactions with Bitcoin. Eventually, they're going to stop giving you anything. And you're going to only get money off transaction fees because there won't be any more Bitcoins to give away.
There's a limit, right?
Yeah.
There is a nice limit. We will reach it not anytime soon, but we will continue to get less and less Bitcoin, which is a deflationary model, which will create more buying pressure as, well, typically should create more buying pressure, as we've seen it do up to.
This is crazy fascinating. Crazy fascinating.
Was it? So I have one more question. Was it easier to mine more Bitcoin in the early days? Like, would you get more?
Yeah, very good question. So in the early days, the difficulty rate was ridiculously low. You would get so many Bitcoins. I think it was 20.
Gold rush.
And Satoshi Nakamoto, anonymous founder of Bitcoin founders. This guy was very interesting in the way he did mining very early on. He had a very specific rig, looked like a 3 GPU machine or so, and he would wait and see if other people were going to mine. And if nobody else was mining, Satoshi would mine. And he would start filling up the Satoshi Nakamoto famous wallet. But when other people came on, he would cut his mining power down. And he was very altruistic in that level where he really wanted the community to own this. He didn't want a centralized ownership of this. And that fits very well in line with some of our business models and our CEO's direction here at Leyline.
Yeah, I was just thinking I would love to donate my CPU processing power to mining Bitcoin, but it's already busy running Boink.
It's already busy
helping out with processing power for
solving COVID,
Alzheimer's and cancer and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to go get another computer and maybe we'll link up later.
Guys, after this.
Specialist, my mining videos, some of them are available on YouTube, which we go in depth on some work. But I would say mining Leyline points, not mining, that's a terrible, terrible term I use. Because honestly, with Leyline, we're doing something extremely different.
Yes.
We are completely 100% separated from anything you do. When you donate blood, that's not me donating blood or getting your blood. I have nothing to do with that. When you are donating your CPU with Boink or any of our applications, you're actually going directly to berkeley.edu. And what we do is we ask Berkeley, hey, this ID, how much did they do? They did this much. Thanks, Berkeley. Here's your Leyline code.
Right.
So that to me is much more valuable outside of the altruistic side. But as a businessman, because of the explosive growth NFTs are going to get, and some of the opportunities I've personally seen here, which has made me donate so much of my time with you guys, besides the amazing crew, I think this is, for me, much more valuable than mining Bitcoin right now, especially if you're paying more than 12 cents a megawatt hour. Yeah. Keep that in mind.
Me of Back to the Future. Megawatt. All right. Well,
gigawatt.
I know today. Yeah, gigawatt. I know today. Well, I had to say megawatt. He said megawatt. So today, I know you were on a podcast for a blockchain gaming alliance. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, it was an excellent podcast. We were privileged to be there. Jeremy did most of the speaking, and he really let it go, and he showed them what's going on. We had a group of industry contacts and specialists on there who are blockchain and gaming specialists. They were representatives in that community from Ubisoft, several other big people that we have some good partnerships with that we want to expand even more work with. And they were very interested in our charity model. Nobody's doing the charity model, and very few seem to have the industry contacts that you guys have. So those were very interesting to them. I was really pleased to see how happy they were to be interested in donating their CPU and wanting to work with us and ask questions in order to do good. This COVID thing at least has doing good on the front of people's mind. We made a couple of connections, and it's generally just our first step into it, but the response was very good, and I'm looking forward to meeting more some of those people. Aave, the coin, was there, and that was interesting. We're not doing anything with them, but I would like to look deeper into what they were doing. And there were some other interesting solutions too. But overall, they were really happy to see somebody focusing on doing good in a sea of DeFi.
How do you see us working with the Gaming Alliance later, the Blockchain Gaming Alliance later?
That's a really good question. This organization has a lot of potential, and it's difficult to tell which way it might go. But being centered around a blockchain and gaming group, I see at a minimum a lot of good contacts, potential partnerships, very good people to work with who are interested in using their talent for good, that are talented in our industry, who will bring in their own people, and more of the people that we want to look for. The really good attitude, altruistic side of people that I think will attract them out of that. And with it being such a small community, come on, blockchain is small. Blockchain gaming is hyper small. it's only going to build outwards and give us a lot more volume being explored out, is what I think will happen ultimately.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's very. I'm like on the forefront. This is very awesome. This is
Yeah.
so cool. What popular games that you've maybe played that have NFTs?
Oh, good question. Good question. I did not play Space Commander. I did play Decentraland. I installed Gods, but didn't get into it. I'll tell you why. I blew all my cash on Hearthstone packs, which I need to stop doing because I was trying to build a all golden streamer pack for the new expansion, but I didn't want to drop under 80,000 dust. So
I know you just made a bunch of people happy in chat. I know that play Hearthstone at Leyline. I know there's a bunch that play it. That's really
the
funny.
Resurrect Priest meta came back, and I had to. Resurrect Priest is such an annoying meta that I had to make a golden deck out of it.
I have yet to
That's
play
funny.
it, but I definitely want to learn. So is CryptoKitties a sort of NFK?
NFT, very good
NFT?
question. Yep. And CryptoKitties is the first major NFT which was released on the Ethereum blockchain, and I remember these days so well. It was a lot of fun. And what it essentially was just moderately okay artwork with cats that had attributes, and the only thing you could do with them is say, okay, this cat and this cat have a baby. I hope your next cat is rare.
Wow.
But
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So mating you had to have some utility, something. And this is not a knock on them, by the way, at all. They created this industry. It's the first thing. If I'm describing Pong to someone, we're not knocking Pong. We're just saying what the first one was, right?
Okay.
So in this case, we're describing what the first one is, and it was extremely limited, but those CryptoKitties it sold for insane values. I recall hearing $1 million at the height of the bull market.
Man, it's the
don't
Beanie
remember.
Babies of NFTs.
Just because they want that rare item, right?
It was one of the very first.
Wow.
They wanted that one. And then just a funny side story, I made and I immediately lost like a house on a coin called Tron when CryptoKitties was coming out. And the guy was marketing it heavily, Justin Sun, and he tried a lot of things, and good for him. He's doing his own things. But he went into this market as well. It didn't seem to do so well with the other people until Ethereum and VeChain and Waves in particular came in and blew this market back up. So we had a pretty big lull. And you guys luckily picked some great blockchains, especially Thor. The Thor nodes running VeChain, it solves a lot of issues because to finish the story, when all this stuff was going on, Tron was blowing up. It's causing major congestion on the Ethereum blockchain because it's a token. CryptoKitties is blowing up. The price went, the transaction fees went up and up and up and up, and it became unmanageable for transaction fees for Ethereum. Your blockchain actually does not have that issue. So when things start getting really crazy, you're going to have very fast access to your NFTs with Thor. So those are some of the things I'm looking forward to. Ethereum is still first to market, and I am extremely bullish with them. But there are growth issues, which coins like Thor in the future, Thor nodes from VeChain, in the very near future, the Cardano blockchain will solve. And we're on the forefront of those currently.
But there's so many different cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin is the main one. How do you know which one is going to get big? Like, how do you decide which one to invest in?
Very good question. It depends on what your goal is. If you're a fundamental trader, or if you're if you're into fundamentals, or if you're into actually reading charts. Those are two totally different things. For me, I like fundamentals. I'm too emotional. And what I like to do is I like to get to know the team. I like to get to know the product, the technology stack. what they're working on, what they're promising, what they're delivering. Are they putting more money in engineering or are they putting more money in marketing? Those are a lot of things that made me go with Leyline as well. For example, we have a product before we put in a massive marketing budget. People that put in a massive marketing budget are a lot more susceptible for a pump and dump, which means that the price goes way up. You get excited. Yay, I buy here. It goes up here. I get more excited. Then it drops and oh my God. So to avoid things like that, I look at the fundamentals and really, are they delivering technology or are they delivering hype? We have a end-to-end model here, and that's a very good sign. We have a lot of industry specialists. We're not anonymous. A lot of these current projects are completely anonymous. Be careful with those. They're probably anonymous for a reason. There's other things that we can go into. Those would be the very top ones I would look at immediately.
You know, here at Leyline, we're creating some NFTs and some collectible stuff. I think we have a couple pieces of art that we can show.
Oh, I'd love to see some.
I'm personally proud of these ones, personally, for a lot of reasons. And I know the first one is called the donkey stick.
Yes, it is.
Art should be coming up pretty soon here. Thank you, Miss Crystal.
The art should be coming up pretty soon.
This is a one-handed piece for your avatar.
One moment.
Yes, it's coming. The tension is building. Now, if you can
we'll
imagine,
just paint a picture of words for you all.
I know some people's got some, interesting senses of humor, but when you think donkey stick, this ain't it.
Are you guys ready for it?
Let's go.
Ready.
Let's go.
This is created by our lovely artist, Andrew.
Who was our
It's a
guest
hobby
last
horse.
week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get your mind out of the gutter. It's a hobby horse. This is phenomenal. It's so silly looking. It's going to have stats and stuff like that, and this is one of the NFTs that we're going
Ooh.
to. Yes.
So that
we
means
should get our hands on
one
this?
person will have a donkey stick ever, if I'm understanding NFTs now.
I think we're going to have a couple thousand copies of that, but if you think of the large, a drop of dye in a giant pool, right, of water, it's going to be very, very, very small. We also have another one, which is the upgrade to this, which is the handsome horse. Gotta love the handsome horse.
Yes.
He looks dapper.
Every single one of those thousands, though, will be individually trackable.
Got it. So the one that Boogy gets and uses to slay the Lich King or something, right? It does some epic with it. Goes on this epic quest. He could auction off, and whoever buys it will have that one donkey stick that once belonged to Boogy, and it will become worth millions.
The world's first kill.
Yes.
Wow.
$1 million.
So our listeners and watchers, viewers,
the
people that are participating in viewing and listening, if you sign up and you share in our beta through our GoFundMe, you'll get this. You'll get this if you're participating. So we're at 226 shares right now. So if you share our GoFundMe, everybody that participates will get the donkey stick.
Wait, do I have one?
And the GoFundMe, do you have?
Do I have
a donkey
one?
stick?
Yeah.
What? You better not. I don't have one yet.
I was gonna say, I've shared it though.
You're making me want it, man. Yeah.
I just got obnoxiously jealous.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I hope everybody goes and shares it now. It's like, I want the donkey stick. I want to be a part of this. I want that NFT. It sounds amazing.
Yeah, what's the link that they have to go to? Here we go.
I just put it in chat right now.
Yes, thank you.
Leyline.gg/donate. Unless it's changed, it will take you right there. So
everyone in beta will get that if we hit that goal. So you'll get, without having to pay for an NFT that could turn out to be worth oodles.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will never make these again. This is it. This is the only time you're ever able to get these items.
And we're going to continue to make more and more items, more and more collectibles. But
this is it.
This is the beginning. And to give you kind of like scope, I play a lot of World of Warcraft, probably more than I want to admit to. But there is items that sell on the auction house that are gray value items, which is like the lowest of the low value items that sell for hundreds of thousands of gold. Now that can equate to hundreds of actual dollars because there are people that sell gold or you know, and there is a secondary market for it, but it equates to an actual real world value. Because if you have something that's worth $500,000 or 500,000 gold, it could be worth 500 actual real dollars if somebody's going to actually pay for that gold. So if you put it in that scope, these are the beginning items. You want these items. I want these items for many reasons because it's silly and I may have partaken in creating it. But I still want one. But thank you, Ollie. I got to thank you very much for all of your knowledge you dropped on us. I'm glad there's going to be a VOD of this because I need to watch it a couple of times because that is some serious stuff. You know, this is some really, really interesting stuff. And this is the future. You know, this is the future of Leyline. This is the future of the planet. Get on board.
Yeah.
Get on board.
And this was the first time that someone explained this to me so well that I could actually understand and learn and be like, oh, I get it now. So thank you so much.
First time anybody's explained anything to me in an AOL jacket.
I've been in Como since 6 a.m., so I actually felt like I could have done way better. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Phenomenal.
You did great.
This time we invited you in too. So last time it was great. I think we need more Ali in our shows for sure. He's wonderful.
Definitely.
So we got the holidays coming up. You know, we do.
How
do you guys? What are you guys gonna do during your holidays? This is a weird year. I mean, it's a shit year when you boil it down. It's
no question.
A lot of people were isolated from our families. You know, either you shouldn't travel or you can't travel.
Yeah.
What are you guys going to do during? Yeah, go ahead, Crystal.
Can you believe it's already the 23rd and it's Christmas Eve tomorrow? Like that went by so
yesterday
fast.
was my birthday.
What?
March, so
yeah. Yeah, I feel like March till now is a blur. Yeah.
I was just talking to my wife about stuff that happened last year, and she's like, "You know, that was 2 years ago." I'm like, "But 2020 doesn't count. This year, just cancel it."
Asterisks.
We don't speak about 2020.
Go away.
Yeah. But you know, the Leyline hosts community nights, and okay, so what happened was my mom thought she had a cold. She got tested negative. So I went to see her, and then she like had an appointment, and so she got tested again and she got positive, and her husband got positive. So that's like, there's no way that it's a false positive, right? So I was exposed to it. So now I'm just quarantined at home by myself. I mean, I was already quarantined from the beginning of COVID. Like I haven't gone out, but we're going to watch a movie tomorrow for community night and kind of have that holiday spirit. And you could vote for what movie you want to watch on our Discord.
Where can you vote for that?
On our Discord.
Oh.
There's a poll channel. Can someone link the Discord?
Votes? Any movies that are running highest? Die Hard, maybe?
Yeah, can someone check who's winning?
I got to tell you, I'm like a little disappointed. My personal favorite Christmas movie is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That wasn't even on the list.
What?
So, yeah.
Sorry if that was loud.
I don't know who I need to talk to about that, but
yo, you gotta create your videos like Haley did.
I'm being a stinker.
Home
Alone is in the lead. We just got some note from chat that Home Alone is in the lead, which is an amazing Christmas movie.
Oh, it's fantastic.
One of my favorite.
It is.
If you
we
haven't
just watched
seen
it a
Home
couple
Alone,
nights ago with my kids. They're huge fans. My 7-year-old is Kevin McAllister. He's like taking notes. He's like, "This okay? Yeah. Oh, this is yep."
Hand to the face, perfect. Yes. If you haven't seen Home Alone, welcome to Earth, where we have great movies like Home Alone. Are you going to be doing? Are you going to be doing anything else in the holiday break? Like, Ollie, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah. What is everyone else going to be doing?
It's funny you mentioned Home Alone. You took me back to that's when that was a wonderful year, and I'll be reminiscing that when Pit Fighter was removed from the arcades and Mortal Kombat came in. When Mortal Kombat came out, that was an excellent year. Because of COVID, I'm staying put. I am talking to family overseas a lot. We're video conferencing a lot, which is great because I don't get to see them anyways. So for me, it's nice to be able to do that. Sticking around, just hunkering down with those close to me for now. But I'm looking forward to the vaccine for myself personally. I'm not going to have an issue taking. If somebody does, that's okay. But I'm looking forward to it. And as soon as that thing hits my veins, I am flying to Vegas.
I mean, technically,
Right
you
on.
could still fly there. Everything's open there, apparently.
I just want the
Yeah.
vaccine before I
Yeah.
go in there because I'm going to hit
Smart
every
move.
restaurant. I am going to hit.
What happens in Vegas
Show
stays
that
in
over.
Vegas, except for a few things.
No, not in the age of
Viruses
the
being
internet.
one of them.
What happens
Yeah.
in Vegas ends up on YouTube. No.
But what a
no.
fitting movie for 2020, Home Alone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Home Alone.
yeah.
Makes sense.
You know, guys, I know some of us are stuck at home like me, but let's get together in the Discord community and be alone together and just, you know, we're not really
Alone
alone
together.
then. Yeah.
Alone together.
Alone together.
That's my new album, Alone Together.
How about you,
are you
Cody?
guys doing anything like self-improvement wise or creatively while we're off?
Oh, myself, thank you so much, Boogie. I stopped doing the self-improvement about 2 months ago. So not as of the last 2 months, but hopefully very soon. How about you guys, though? It's good you bring it up because I need to focus on it. But
I'm going to be hitting that Leyline exercise button, get my Leyline points. If you go to leyline.gg, you get 10 points for working out. And that's on an honor system.
Yeah.
But it'll put that seed in your mind if you're not already working out.
For sure.
A walk counts.
I look forward to it after every dog walk.
Nice.
It's a good little motivator. Something to look forward to.
I would like to work out with Boogie during his sessions, but he just does it too early for me. I can't wake up right away and then work out. Like, I just can't.
Are you still doing those, Boogie?
Yeah, this Monday I'm actually teaching some basic Shotokan. Some basic traditional Japanese Shotokan. Yeah, so stop on by.
Leyline people?
All right, where do we find that?
What time?
It'll be in our workout channel in Slack, and it will not be blasted on the internet. Thank you. All right.
But what time will it be at?
Probably 8 a.m.
Oh my god. Okay.
Pacific
I'm sorry. All right.
Well, that's sleeping in for a household with 3 little kids, as I am in.
Well, my brain doesn't let me sleep in. I'm up at 4:30 every day, so
wow.
Regardless of what time I go to bed. I wanted to thank everybody for participating tonight. You know, I hold you guys all very dear. We're in a weird situation, and you know, I want to give a big thank you to Jeremy, our CEO,
big shout out,
putting this thing together, putting us together, and we have such a crazy good community. This is like no other. I even hate saying it like a company, right? Because it still has that like stigmatism. This is a family that happens to try to save the world with, you know, NFTs and everything that's happening right now. So please give us a look. Leyline.gg. Check us out. You know, be part of the solution.
Yes.
I love saying it because it's true. We're trying to change the game and to change the world. But you guys have any closing things you'd like to say before we go on our holiday break and
I would actually
not
like
hang
to
out with people?
Thank Jeremy as well, because as a recent graduate, I don't think I would have had the chance to work with so many amazing people on one team. And even just in the community pod, you were asking what I was going to do. I'm going to hang out with Haley on Discord, and she's going to teach me more about Canva and help me improve my creative skills, which is awesome. Yeah, so thank you so much. This opportunity has been amazing. Yes, Leyline website, donate, and go join our Discord, guys.
Right. Second, third, all of it. Sounds good. Do it.
Right on.
Couldn't agree more.
Ollie, did you want to say anything closing?
Love you guys. Thank you all so much. I'm so excited for 2021.
Right on. And we will be back here next Wednesday, December 30th. Same, I don't want to say bad time. Same time. Same time. Yes, come check us out. Don't forget, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. Don't forget to check us out next week. A lot of love. Everybody be safe this holiday season. And, always lead with love. That'll always win. Lead with love.
I love
Check
that.
us out at leyline.gg. Change the game and change the world. That's it. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays. Bye.